Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back to your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as well as the vast majority of finance. So with all of that in mind, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the US dollar here. I do have the total over here as well as the US dollar, and I want you guys to all pay attention to the EMAs. Specifically, I want to go back all the way to September of 2021. Now, during this time, you might be wondering, like, why was crypto pumping from June of 2021 all the way until November 8th of 2021? Well, look at the significance of the 200 weekly EMA, this blue line. The one, I want you guys to go all the way back here. So let me zoom out a little bit. So I want to go all the way back to the point of March of 2020. So here's when March of 2020 came. The U.S. dollar basically went parabolic, but then crashed down. But you do see the chart over here. This chart didn't go parabolic until we broke down significantly below the 200 weekly EMA, which happened on July of 2020. During this time, guess what? The total went absolutely crazy all the way up until the point where we broke out of the 200 weekly EMA on the dollar. So now we are at this point in time where, yes, the market has done very, very good. In fact, if we actually look at what caused the surge in value for the total, well, look at it. We broke down below the 50 weekly EMA here, but also we went down to test a significant support zone. We ended up gaining strength on the dollar and actually having a little bit of an impulsive move to the upside, which also caused, guess what, crypto to have this massive drop in the market. So now we're at this point in time where, one, we either get a significant bounce off of support here at around 101, almost 102, up to local resistance and then a rejection down, or we just continue breaking down. But once we lose this significant fib level, I do believe that the 200 weekly EMA will be tested. It will probably be around like 99 and a half. I believe that that's where we will be at. And when we do test that, right, it's either we get a significant bounce to resistance, rejection, or again, we just continue falling with a little bit of an impulsive move up. But once this does happen, once we get this test down here, once we lose this fib level as well, it's going to be a significant sign in the market that the dollar is extremely weak, meaning guess what? We'll see crypto, boom, go crazy. But if we do have this slight impulsive move to the upside, we might get a little bit of a rejection down to local support yet again, and then have that major bounce to the upside. But all I know is that the dollar is extremely weak around the world. I believe that the dollar is going to continue going lower, much, much lower, and this is going to ignite a run in crypto. Now, why do I believe that the dollar is going to go much lower? Well, let's go over here. So Kenya signs a deal with Saudi Arabia and the UAE to buy oil with Kenyan shillings instead of the US dollar. Now, I wouldn't think that this would be a big deal if there wasn't already the massive amounts of headlines and articles and announcements of other nations moving away from the US dollar. We also did see the president of Kenya tell citizens to get rid of US dollars. Listen closely to this video.
For the people who work numbers, I am giving you free advice that those of you who are holding dollars, you surely might go into losses. You better do what you must do, because this market is going to be different in a couple of weeks.
In a couple of weeks, this market is going to be a lot different. That is very interesting. But also, right, we have been reporting on this. Going all the way back here, this video, I included this video in a recent video of mine. Russia will use Chinese yuan to trade with Asia, Africa, and Latin America. This is the death of the petrodollar and birth of the petro yuan. Remember what is happening around the world. Most of this has been happening for months now. Going all the way back to 2022. I said that the mainstream media won't tell you it until it's too late. And guess what? Mainstream media, all of a sudden, is talking about it. Do you see down here? Changes are coming after 100 years. The shift from the US dollar. Interesting. And this was on Fox News. They went in depth on this for over 4 minutes. Obviously, I'm not going to let you guys sit through the whole 5 minutes, but if you guys did want to go and look at this, you guys are more than welcome to. But yeah, things are rapidly changing. And obviously, yes, the Bitcoin maxis are pushing their Bitcoin standard narrative and all that nonsense. Honestly, I don't really care about Bitcoin, but I do know that the dollar is in rapid decline. And I also believe that a lot of individuals are going to look for other options. And I do believe that crypto might be very well that option that they go to. If not, it's going to be gold, it's going to be silver, it's going to be things like that. So I'm very excited about this. I think that this is a big moment in time. I think that this is a historical event. And also, even CNN was another one to report on this. This was for about 5.5 minutes long. But we do see if the US dollar's global supremacy erodes, America will face a reckoning like none before. A surprising segment on CNN. Everyone should be buying as much gold and silver as you can afford for when this happens. No way to predict which year will be the turning point, but when it happens, you will wish you owned more gold and silver than you have now. Honestly, I think that everyone should make sure that with the US dollar as it is right now, like listen, I'm not going to lie. During March of 2020, we've seen a lot of individuals flock to holding the US dollar, right? During this whole time, we've seen a lot of individuals holding the US dollar. But guess what? After the fact, they said, we're done. We've seen a big shift out of fiat currency into stocks, crypto, gold, silver, all of it. And you've seen a decline in it. Guess what? We just hit up here at 115 nearly. Now, we're down here at 103. This is going to continue to decline as the banking sector in the traditional world of finance is crumbling. It's cracking. It's getting ready to collapse. The birth of crypto-driven and digital systems is happening. I've been talking about this, and it's going to take some time. Listen, it's unpredictable on when this could happen. Nobody knows exactly when it's going to happen, but we should all be preparing for this. I don't believe that the US dollar will be the reserve currency in the coming weeks, months, maybe even years, right? Because we don't know how long it's going to take, but we know that things like this don't happen overnight. But all of the signs are pinpointing to a new reserve currency, new trading systems, advanced trading systems as well for cross-border payments. Do I believe that XRP will be utilized for cross-border payments? It's questionable. It definitely could. We just talked about $700+ million being moved within 4 seconds for a penny. You're not seeing that anywhere else. Crypto is going to be massively adopted because the death of fiat is basically happening right now. And we do see over here breaking news. Saudi Aramco, the largest energy company in the world, has forged agreements with Chinese partners to build a state-of-the-art refining complex in the northeast region of the Asian nation. Significant. This is going to be fully operational by 2026. I want you guys to realize what's happening here. This is not only strike after strike, but it's a death strike after death strike to the US dollar. The US dollar's strength is in question right now. As the US, the Fed, for example, is going absolutely crazy, trying to figure out, well, what are we going to do about the banking sector? We need to print more money, right? We need to inflate the markets with the US dollars. We see nations overseas getting the hell away from the US dollar and starting to build a dominant force to be reckoned with. This is happening in real time. And the US, either they are playing a game here or they are just oblivious. Is this all by plan? We question this all the time on this channel. It almost seems like this is all by plan. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, though. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. And also, Saudi Arabia has been the biggest one to watch for. Remember what I've been saying for the last couple months? I've been sounding like a broken record with Saudi Arabia because guess what? They're the last thread for the US dollar, the petrodollar deal. Saudi Arabia, the last 7 days. Saudi Aramco will start building a huge refining complex in northeastern China as soon as next month. India is working with Saudi Arabia to create an investment bridge emphasizing greater economic interconnectedness. Saudi Arabia and Syria are in talks to restore ties. The Saudi Arabian and Iranian foreign ministers spoke by phone and have agreed to meet soon. This week was a historic week. Reminder, China's president surprised many in December, emphasizing the importance of leveraging the Shanghai Petroleum and Natural Gas Exchange to conduct oil and gas trade, with transactions settled in yuan between China and Gulf nations. Things continue to move very quickly. I've been reporting on this. I'm telling you guys, the emphasis right now to focus on these events while everyone is focused on all this other nonsense is the most important thing to focus on. Because trust me when I say this, yes, a 2008 like scenario is building. We have been watching that closely. But what is also building is a shift. A big shift is happening right now around the world of finance. And the US seems to be the one that is going to fall behind the most. And also, the US will most likely be completely shocked by what happens next because Saudi Arabia, they're doing this very, very slowly, but these small little things that you see here, these events that have happened in the last 7 days, these might seem small, but every single one of these is a nail in the coffin for the US economy. The US dollar as we know it, might be the next thing to fully collapse. And the reasoning behind it is once the petrodollar deal is finished, once it's done, which by the way, a lot of people have questioned if it's done and has been finished since August, because there's been a lot of events from August to now that are actually signaling that the petrodollar deal is done. Once we have a full-on announcement of that, the US dollar, I'm telling you right now, go back in time, go onto the monthly chart. You see some of these collapses here on the US dollar. If you think that's bad, right? If you think 2008 is bad, here's 2007 leading, or 2006 leading all the way up to 2008. If you think this is bad, trust me, that is nothing compared to what will happen once we have a full-on announcement of the petrodollar deal being finished, because that is the last thread of value that the US dollar is holding on to. And with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. So it's up to you all. Have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.